Let's take a look. This is from Dawg Pound Daily. AFC North team pass rush rankings from worst to best in 2023. So it's a projection by a local group. But Ravens, Owe, Matabuke, and Bauer, they rank fourth. Bengals, third with Hendrickson, Hubbard, Miles Murphy, Osai. Steelers, second, Watt, Highsmith, Cameron Hayward. And they say the Browns have the best with Myles Garrett, Zadarius Smith, and Okunrankwo. Again, it's hard to argue because of how good Zadarius Smith has been when he's been healthy. And Okunrankwo is a young guy who is ascending.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at that list, I mean, what do you have with the Browns? You have a cornerstone pass rusher, Myles Garrett. You have a guy in Zadarius Smith who might be in the next group below that. You know, a guy who's made Pro Bowls kind of on his own play, his own ability to be the number one or 1B guy. Cleveland's one of the few places where he would have gone and been the number 2 guy. So, I mean, you consider what they have in Myles Garrett and what he's done on his own, even, you know, obviously with what Jadeveon Clowney's done to an extent the past couple of seasons, particularly 2021, he had a very good season with Garrett taking a lot of the attention away. And you mentioned Okunrankwo as well. You know, once he got a lot more playing time in Houston, those numbers went up, and, you know, the analytics measurements from PFF, you know, they're very favorable for Okunrankwo. But you look at that list again, you know, the fact that the Bengals are third on that list tells you that this division is pretty good pass rushers. I mean, we're not too far removed from Trey Hendrickson, you know, having a very good season, you know, in that first year with the Cincinnati Bengals. They got a decent defensive front, and Lou Anarumo, one of the best defensive coordinators in the game. But yeah, if you want to get an idea of how good this division is, I mean, these top 3 pass rushers are all, you know, pretty impressive, especially 1 and 2, because what the Browns and Steelers have on paper is 2 of the best pass rush units in all of football.
The other thing is, don't discount, and we touched on it before, Jim Schwartz is going to basically say, go get the quarterback. If they happen to hand off the ball, get the running back on the way back to the quarterback.
Yeah, see ball, get ball defense. You know, I think even, you know, listen to the Browns talk about in minicamp, they mentioned, you know, a little bit more of a simpler scheme with Jim Schwartz. And I think that's kind of what you want in a defense, is you want things to be a little more simple, where you're not having to think when you're on the field. Because if you're thinking, you're not playing at 100% speed. If you're reacting, and if you're playing react football, you know, see ball, get ball, then you can play a lot faster. And if we know Jim Schwartz is willing to turn those guys loose on that defensive front, so it could be very fun to watch, you know, if they play the way Jim Schwartz defenses have historically played.